Russ Smith, Beechcraft Defense Company. Came from the company from the U.S. Air Force, retired 26 years, been with the company 5 years. I fly and demonstrate the AT6 light attack aircraft. This is the latest variant of the T6 series. We've manufactured and delivered over 900 T6 variants, including armed variants to the Greek Hellenic Air Force, also armed variants to the Mexican Air Force, as well as the Mexican Navy. About 80 or so plus armed variants, the rest being unarmed trainer variants. This aircraft has several additions that make it extremely high-end, high-fidelity, state-of-the-art, precision-guided weapons munition capability. PT6A-68 has been upgraded to 1600 shaft horsepower. The propeller is still a four-bladed propeller, but it's got thicker paddles for better high, hot, humid conditions and to carry more gross weight. Gross weight has been expanded to 10,000 pounds. Likewise, we can land at 10,000 pounds. Performance is enhanced with the Lockheed Martin mission computer system. It is the exact same mission computer that's on the A-10 aircraft that I used to fly. The software is a little different to talk to our CMC Cockpit 4000, but it's a magnificent piece of equipment that benefits from many years of Air Force, U.S. Air Force investment and tens of millions of dollars of testing. The L3 MX-15 sensor pod is equipped with this aircraft. It gives us essentially 4 cameras, 2 infrared with a white hot and black hot, and then it also has a day camera, which is color. And then there's also what we call an EO narrow zoom, black and white or color, 750 times zoom. The EO camera is graduated however you would like to zoom in on the target, while the infrared camera has a 4-step zoom up to 2,000 times zoom. Along with the MX-15, we have a data link. We have the capacity for C-band, KU-band, S-band, or L-band data link, and that can be streamed down to the ground, down to a Rover 5 or a suitably equipped ground unit or command post, and can stream or take pictures within the cockpit. Likewise, we have a full mission planning and mission debrief suite. So we have what we call a brick. It's a mass memory device that we put in the rear cockpit. You can do all your flight plan, your frequencies, your routes, your waypoints, your weapons, your training loads that you'd like to see. Perhaps you have some objectives today to train with certain munitions. You can load all that in there, as well as your frequencies, mission planning, throw it in there, and so that when the pilot jumps into the aircraft, all he has to worry about is starting the engines and flying and fighting the mission, and worrying about the real threats. And talking about threats, we use the same F-16 electronic countermeasures suite. So we have an ALQ-213, we have an AAR-47 for laser and missile detection, as well as an ALE-47 chaff and flare dispenser. It has the capacity for automatic or manual modes. Along with self-protection capability, we have armor that goes around the engine, as well as underneath where the pilots sit, as well as the fuel collector. It's designed to stop 7.62 millimeter or an AK-47 round and keep that from penetrating or impacting the performance of the aircraft or the integrity of the crew. The aircraft flies easy, so all the great flight characteristics that come with the T6 and the proven 900 plus T6 aircraft and over 3 million hours of flight hours, you get with this aircraft as well. The wings stations have been strengthened a little bit to carry about 2,500 pounds of weapons, munitions, including laser-guided bombs, GPS-guided satellite bombs. You can have dumb rockets, smart rockets, practice munitions. You can drop Bluetooth flares to light up the sky, or covert flares for NVG operations. The MX-15 also has an illuminator, designator, and also rangefinder. So again, the interaction with the ground component is central. Additionally, the comm suite is quite robust. There's 3 VHF radios available. There's 2 UHF radios available. There's also a beyond line of sight SATCOM phone. Many of those are available, depending on State Department restrictions, of course, for encrypted or frequency hopping for security. The aircraft, like I said, flies very simply. It can double as a trainer, so it's an added benefit versus some of our competitors, which sit as tail draggers. They're not really apt to perform the training role. This aircraft can perform every role from the back seat operationally as well as the front seat. Constant communication and synchronization between the cockpits, and you can land this aircraft the first time from the back seat. There's no restriction. Great visibility in the back seat, and of course it has the same forgiving characteristics as we talked about. The aircraft flies a lot like the A-10. It's not quite as fast, but it's certainly more efficient. The whole idea of the whole genesis of light attack was that you could put a turboprop on an aircraft and get the same 4th, 5th generation cockpit capability with the munitions, but at a fraction of the cost. So this is probably $1,000 per flight hour. You might pay for an F-15E or an F-16 in excess of $17,000. With an F-35, who knows what that cost is going to be.